Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. Today we're going to talk about why feathers are so important, even if you're shooting a perfectly tuned arrow and high FOC or whatever you're doing, why I still shoot high back feathers. And it's the visibility is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't even matter if they're high back or what, but the feathers are still very important for a few reasons. One, in a hunting situation, you're not necessarily going to have that perfect, flawless shooting opportunities, okay? You're not going to have it where, I'm sorry, I'm watching my meter on there we go. But you're not going to have that 100% perfect, stand there, here he comes, you lock in, you get set, there's your shot. The deer doesn't always happen that way. What if you're standing this way and you think he's going to be there and now he's here? Okay, let's watch something that happens with my arrow at draw. Okay, let's watch this. So let's do it this way. So here I am and I'm thinking he's going to, and I'll do it vertically for you vertical guys. If I can. Yeah, we'll try. No, well, either I'm going to do it my way. But so we're thinking that deer's coming in right here, and if he does, watch how much arrow I have left over on this, because I can get to full draw and I have everything come together. So here he is, and I'm thinking that deer's going to be right there, and I draw, and there it is. Can you see that? You can see the end of that arrow, okay? Now, what if I can't, and he moves. And now he comes, and so we're still in that same position, but now he's standing here, and I have to shoot him here. Watch what happens to the end of this arrow. Look at the difference in that. Okay, do you see that? Now, there's all kinds of variables. What if I'm used to shooting, standing like this, right here, like I normally do, but what if I have to get down on the ground, where I'm down like this, and he's there, and remember, I hunt on the ground a lot. I'm stalking pigs 99% of the time. But what if same with deer. If you got deer in tall grasses or something and you have to kneel down, you're on the ground and you have to shoot this bow horizontal to the ground. It happens all the time. But if I have to shoot this way, there's a big impact change here. You can see this. If you look at my arrows, see that mark on my arrows? Some of them have that little mark on them. Here's a good one from a broadhead actually. Where's that one that killed that pig last time? Right here, this one. Look at that, okay? This is from practice, and I actually killed a pig with this arrow. You can still see some of the red on the inside of it there. And I just cleaned it all off. But you can see it. See that mark ripping through my cresting rings on there? Okay, what is that from? That's from this. Let's look at my riser here for a second, okay? My shelf, or my side plate. See that mark on my side plate? That's there. That's not because my bow's not tuned right. That's because I practice weird positions. When you go from being able to hit full draw here to turn this way and not getting full draw, you're going to impact the spine of your arrow. I also shoot 450 grains up front on this arrow, and when I do, I shoot with a heavy cant. Well, if I practice like I do, being down here on the ground, you still see, and if I'm hunkered in like this and I'm going to take a shot this way and I'm going to do this type of shot, like that right there, did you see I didn't get perfect arrow flight? Well, it had a little kick to it? Yeah, why? Because that's completely different from how we shoot, and you have gravity coming into play. Gravity coming into play with a bow horizontal, okay, and your strings this way, and a heavy FOC on the front, it's going to impact how that spine kicks off of there, and it's going to make that arrow rub against this. There's no two ways about it, okay? Maybe not with, or maybe if you're only running like a regular arrow with a 125 grain point, but when you got 450 grains up front, and you turn that bow horizontal like that, this becomes the shelf now. That is no longer a side plate. That becomes the shelf. And you're going to get that effect on there. It still put it exactly where I wanted. That's completely dead deer. I mean, that thing's done. It's over. It's game over. It's perfect. And but what we have is that mark on there is from practicing with this. If my feathers, even if my arrow was 100% perfectly tuned and everything was spot on flawless, and I took those feathers down to near nothing, do you think with a broadhead on there, even with perfect tune and stuff, that I would have got that exact spot? I don't know. I know I can because of the FOC, but in reality, most people would not. The feathers have to do some work for you because you're not constantly in that perfect position like you practice when you're on the range. And if you're going to practice, if you're going to practice like you hunt, like I do, in those shots, I practice that all the time, I'm going to get that wear there. There's no way around it. Okay, my arrows are perfectly tuned for me to stand here and shoot it this way and go ahead and take my shot. They do exactly what I want. They are set perfectly for my shooting style and what I do. But the second I get down on the ground and I turn my bow completely sideways and I lean my head in like this, and you get all that weight now resting on here, you're going to get a little bit different arrow flight than you are if you're standing vertical or these things. It's all going to come into play. I want feathers to be there to save my butt for these situations. If I'm here and I have to turn this way and I'm losing two inches of draw length, I need those feathers to fix my problem and straighten that arrow out quickly and get it there. That arrow flew great after it had a little kick. Okay, I was down here like this, and when I shot, it bounced off of this just a slight bit. Because again, you had all that 450 grains of weight hanging out front, gravity kicking in, all that. I got a little kick off of that when I shot, just a little boop, but the feathers pull it back together instantly and put it right back in line. So feathers are vitally important, and good ones, okay? I still think big ones. If I weren't shooting these, which this is a high back, like the 5.5-inch high back feathers that we used to shoot as traditional bow hunters all the time. Now they don't even make them that way. You have to chop them, but used to be able to buy a 5.5-inch high back or even a 6-inch banana feather. There were reasons that we shot those, okay? And with these, I'm still using a high back feather, but I just make mine 4 inches long. They're 3 3/4 inches total length is what they are, but they're still very high back. And as you see, I run a very strong helical on mine too. Why? Because I want them to correct any of my errors that I'm doing, because my form as I'm shooting through, there's no way for me to tune a bow to handle that, yet have the bow handle that, yet have the bow handle this, and also have the bow handle me doing this. There's no way to tune a setup that's going to work in all those conditions. So I tune for the most common one, which is my perfect right here setup, my setup, everything perfect. But when the times I can't make that happen, I need the feathers to save me. Okay, the high FOC and the feathers are what save me. Little tip for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.